Hi guys, Tiana here, and today we are playing Royale High. And in this video, I am super excited to show you my new character called Princess Marshadeer, who is a reindeer fairy. So, Princess Marshadeer has gotten a day off from her daily responsibilities today, which are looking after reindeers in her realm, which is the reindeer fairy realm. So, since she has the day off, she's decided to come to Royal High to attend class today. She's very happy to have gotten some time off because she can't seem to get much of a break from her responsibilities in winter as it's on the run up to Christmas and she and the other reindeer fairies are so insanely busy. But yeah, she's not going to stay the night at Royal High though because even though she's got a day off, she's still very busy with other things. But I'll explain Marshadeer's job in more detail. So, Marshadeer's job back in the reindeer fairy realm is to train reindeers, get their fitness and strength up, feed them, groom them, and clean them out. So, every reindeer fairy has their own personal reindeer that they look after the most, and Marsha's personal reindeer is called Radiance, and they are best friends. They are honestly so close with each other. And here is Radiance, and Marsha and him love to hang out. It's one of their favorite things to do because they are just so close as friends. But there's sadly a lot of reindeers in the reindeer fairy realm that don't currently have their own personal owner yet, so they'll end up getting trained by different reindeer fairies every day. That is until they get their own owner, and then they'll just be trained by them and only them. So, with the help of the other reindeer fairies, Marsha has to help train and look after the ones with no owners. Each reindeer fairy will take it on turns at training a couple of different reindeers daily, and there's definitely a rota that says a list of reindeers they'll be training and looking after on different days. Or if you're lucky, the rota may say you have a day off. It varies every day, and one day a reindeer fairy may only be training and looking after a few reindeers, but another day there could be a bunch. And if there's a bunch, it definitely takes up more time. And today, Princess Marsha's rota said she has a day off. She can access the rota from her phone, and there she can see how many reindeers she'll be training on the day and which reindeers, as the rota will have a list of names, or of course, it can say she has a day off. So today she's got a day off and isn't training any reindeers that currently don't have owners, but just like every reindeer fairy, Marsha still needs to look after her own personal reindeer every single day, which is Radiance. So, real quickly, Marsha just went down to breakfast to buy some food for her and Radiance. And Marsha really does like to share her food with Radiance, and from that, you can just tell that they are really close. And by the way, she does get called Marsha for short, but her full name is Marsha Deer. So, moving on to Marsha's personality. So, she's extremely shy, she's caring, helpful, hardworking, as she has to train and look after the reindeers along with her own. She's very active, playful, loves to play with Radiance when she gets free time. She's sometimes really anxious and stressed because she's socially awkward and shy, but she feels less stressed and anxious whenever Radiance is with her. She is creative, and I'll explain why she's creative in more detail soon. And she's kind, quiet, cute, generous, and also quite sensitive, responsible, trustworthy, and very, very busy because of her responsibilities. So now I'm going to be explaining why Princess Marshadeer looks very worried and anxious. So, you already know one of the reasons why, which is because she's quite shy and socially awkward around other people. But there's another reason why. So, Marsha looks anxious and worried as she has to get a certain amount of reindeers ready for the biggest night of the year. She has to train them, feed them, look after them, make sure they're fit and healthy so nothing goes wrong for the Santa fairies that will use the reindeers to pull the sledges in the sky. It's a giant problem if something goes wrong because Santa fairies only have the night to deliver presents to everyone around realms, and if something goes wrong, wrong, they could get stranded and lose a lot of time. The other reason why Marsha has to make sure the reindeers are properly trained and well fed is so nothing bad happens to them while they pull the sledges. If the reindeers haven't had enough food in their bellies to last the night or being trained properly to get their fitness and strength up, then they won't be able to pull the sledge with all the presents on for the right period of time, and they could easily fall from the sky quickly. But as much as Marsha loves Christmas, she's always worried for Christmas Eve because she has to give her own reindeer to one of the Santa fairies for the night to pull their sledge with the presents on. She's worried because she doesn't want her reindeer, or any reindeer in that matter, to get hurt or injured on the journey, which they could. If they're not fed enough or get enough training or even enough sleep to get energy, then they could easily fall from the sky, and it really worries Marshadeer to the bone. But it also depends on the weather too. If it's super windy and the snow is out of control, then there's a high chance of a snow blizzard, and that could be difficult for the reindeers to be able to see where they're going through the snow. And they could accidentally crash into a house or anything they didn't see properly, or even the wind could blow them about so they lose control of flying. If something like this does happen, they may get deeply injured or even die. Marsha has a lot of pressure on her because if something happens to her own reindeer or a reindeer that she's been helping to train, she's never going to forgive herself. And unfortunately, something bad has happened in the past. And it's definitely a reason why she's so anxious and worried about Christmas Eve now. So, about several years ago, Marsha was training one of the reindeers that currently don't have owners yet. Because, as you know, the rota says which reindeers and how many you have to train and look after on that day, unless the rota says you have a day off, that is. And there was a certain reindeer Marsha was training a couple of times throughout the year. Obviously, she would have done an excellent job at giving that reindeer the daily training that it needs to stay fit and healthy, but clearly some other reindeer fairy wasn't doing her absolute best training that certain reindeer. And sadly, on Christmas Eve, when a Santa fairy used that reindeer to pull the sledge with the presents on, the reindeer fell from the sky due to not enough training and it was severely injured and close to dying. Marsha heard about this and was absolutely devastated, knowing that she was responsible for training that reindeer on some days. But it wasn't Marsha's fault, it was another reindeer fairy's fault for not training that reindeer as best as she could. But Marsha believes if she trained the reindeer even more than she was supposed to, it would have made up for that other reindeer fairy not training that certain reindeer properly. Marsha, in a way, does blame herself, but how was Marsha supposed to know another reindeer fairy wasn't doing her job correctly? She wasn't. So it's definitely a reason why she's so worried about Christmas Eve night. But don't worry, guys, the reindeer that fell from the sky several years ago didn't die, thankfully, just severely hurt and injured. But it's alright now. When Marshadeer comes to Royal High, her favourite classes are PE, baking, and art. But as you know, she usually is too busy to go to Royal High School often. But yeah, Marsha loves PE a lot because she's really active, but usually she flies on Radiant to do PE. And you may think that's cheating, but it's another plus on Radiance getting more training and flying practice in. And Marsha does a lot of exercise as it is anyways, so it's definitely not cheating. Anyways, Marsha is in baking class now, and Marsha loves to bake so much. Her favourite things to bake are gingerbread biscuits, and she loves to bake them for Radiance so they can share them together. Marsha decorates them with marshmallows because she and Radiance love marshmallows along with gingerbread, of course. And they are all reindeer safe biscuits, by the way. And Marsha actually sells some of her gingerbread biscuits, but I'll get into more of that later. Alright, so we're in another one of Marsha Deer's favourite classes. So Marsha loves art because she's very creative. You can tell she's creative just by looking at her reindeer antlers here. She's decorated her antlers with baubles and snowflakes to represent Christmas. And she's quite good at drawing as well, actually, and she truly loves to knit. She has incredible knitting talent. And she's also very good at making Christmas wreaths too. So now that school is over, Marsha is going to go to Dvina Park and collect some carrots in her reindeer bag for Radiance because this morning she actually checked and she was running low of carrots in her house, so she definitely needs to go ahead and get some more. So Marsha and Radiance have arrived at Dvina Park, and Marsha is going to go ahead and take some carrots from the carrot patch over here. And you may be wondering, why doesn't Marsha just collect some carrots for Radiance back at her realm? Well, that's because it's quieter at Dvina Park compared to her realm, and she loves to spend time exploring and walking around in the giant park with Radiance. It's also a great place for Marsha to sometimes train Radiance or any other reindeer as it's more quiet and there's a lot of free space in the sky. It may be a little bit hectic in the reindeer fairy realm with all the reindeer fairies training reindeers there, so definitely quieter and not as busy at Dvina Park. Not to mention, Marsha is very shy, so it's much better to come to Dvina Park as it's more private, you could say. And also, in some of Marsha's free time, she loves to play with Radiance in Dvina Park. They'll sometimes go on walks through the park and explore to see what they can see and find. They are honestly just so close together. But yeah, Marsh is going to go ahead and take some carrots and put them in her reindeer bag here because, yeah, she did check and she is running low of carrots at home and she absolutely loves to eat carrots and so does Radiance. But yeah, they are mostly for Radiance, of course, but Marsha will take a few since she also loves carrots. But I think they do have enough there to last a couple of days, which is awesome. And she has arrived home with Radiance, so Marsha did stay at Dvina Park for a little while with Radiance to give him enough training because, as you know, it's almost Christmas Eve. Oh my goodness. So Radiance can go rest on Marsha's bed now. So Marsha is just going to go and put the carrots in the fridge now. So here is the fridge. So she will just load the fridge up with carrots. And there we go. And later, for sure, Marsha is going to make a marshmallow hot chocolate because marshmallow hot chocolates are her absolute favorite drink. But moving on, Princess Marshadeer absolutely loves to knit. I mentioned that earlier, and she tends to knit items of clothing to keep Radiance warm or other reindeers warm. She collects fallen out reindeer fur from a brush after the grooming and turns the fur into wool. That way, she can knit with it and make warm items, considering reindeer fur can keep you warm. And she'll sometimes knit some scarves, gloves, and hats for herself and for other fairies as she does sell some of her knitted items. She also sometimes sells her gingerbread biscuits and even Christmas wreaths that she makes. When she goes out walking or exploring, she'll tend to collect foliage and put it in her bag to make a wreath with for Christmas. She gets worried and anxious selling her knitted items, gingerbread biscuits, and Christmas wreaths because she's super anxious and shy, but she still does it anyways as she needs the money to be able to buy reindeer's new saddles and brushes and other products. But yeah, let me actually show you an outfit Marsha Deer knitted for herself. So she's going to go ahead and get it out of the closet here. And here it is. So this is an outfit Marsha knitted on her own and it's absolutely incredible. And this is probably an outfit she would wear on colder winter days. And also, in the winter, Marsha's hair grows a bit longer and much thicker to keep her warm, just like reindeer's fur would grow longer and thicker to keep them warm in the winter. And when it's not winter, her hair actually looks quite different. So in any other season, her hair would look like this, and she looks super cute, guys. Oh my goodness. Well, she looks cute with both hairstyles, but oh my goodness, she looks quite different when the season isn't winter. So as you can see, her hair isn't as long and it's definitely not as thick. And this does happen to all reindeer fairies in winter. Their hair will get a little bit longer and much thicker to keep them warm. And I can't forget to mention that all reindeer fairies have the ability to make their noses glow. And this is what it would look like when a reindeer's nose is glowing. Reindeer fairies also have the ability to hide their antlers, their ears, and their tail. And Marsha has a beautiful little bow on her tail. Isn't that cute? You can tell she really likes bows. She has them on her outfit, and of course, she's even added one on her tail. What I find really cute is that even though Radiance can't talk, Marsha can pretty much understand him completely as she knows him so well as a best friend. It also seems to be snowing outside right now. Marsha and Radiance love to play in the snow together, but since it's far too close to Christmas, they don't really have time to play out at the moment. But yeah, Marsha is very worried at the moment as it's Christmas Eve soon, so fingers crossed everything runs smoothly with Radiance and all the other reindeers on Christmas Eve. And hopefully no snow blizzards as well, because that could be an absolute disaster. But I'll be sure to tell you guys how it went after the event. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed. I was honestly just so excited to share Princess Marshadeer with you in this video. But thank you so much for watching, and if you are new to my channel, then welcome to the dark side. Remember to turn on your notifications so you know when a new video is out. I love you all so much, and I'll see my fairy ponies in the next video. Stay unique. Bye!